Today, we're talking with Alexis Diaz, who's a solo agent here at Real Broker and absolutely crushing it with her home tour YouTube channel. In fact, she's closed over 20 transactions in the last 6 months, all from her home tour YouTube channel. So today, we'll be picking her brain about what exactly is her strategy, what are the best practices, and how you can replicate her success in your own market as well. Alexis, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm really excited. I really think that these channels, these home tour channels, are going to be like the new frontier, and it's going to be like the new digital land grab of who can be the first successful home tour channel in their area. So I'm very excited about this conversation. Do you mind kind of giving us a brief overview about like what your strategy is on YouTube?
Yeah, so honestly, I would say that my strategy is just being super authentic and trying to add as much value as I possibly can, right? So in my videos, I'm just me. Like what you see is what you get. I'm from New York, born and raised, and so if I mess up in my videos, I keep it. I don't edit the heck out of my videos because I'm human, right? And people like to see humanity, I guess, and you being authentic. So that has really worked out for me.
I love it. And so I've seen some people try this type of channel, and what they'll do is like maybe they're not even in the video and they just kind of film it and then they chop it all up and give it to their editor and they get like a 2-minute long video. I've seen other people do like one continuous long shot for the entire home tour. How would you kind of describe what your home tours are like? Are you in the videos yourself? Is it one long shot, or do you do some editing with the home tours as well?
I am in the video. I call my channel a mini HGTV because my videos are about 30 minutes long. So it's very long form. And I
Love
mean,
it.
yeah, there are people who are not in the video and it works for them, right? But I really love to be in the video. I love my personality, and I just love engaging with the audience, right? And a big part of being in the video is having my children in the video as well. So we have 6 children. And so it's 6 different personalities and 6 different perspectives, right? So in the video, it's 7 different perspectives. And I always, I try to incorporate my children in the videos because that is this is why I do it, right? And so if you see that one, the one that's minus 250 on 10 acres, all 6 of them is in that video. And so, yep, I usually do my intro alone, but then you're going to see, and that's my family right there, 6 kids. That's my I'm telling you, it's a mini HGTV.
I love it. Yeah, like I love this format, and that's so amazing that you can integrate your children and your family into your videos as well. Like, obviously, family must be really important to you, and like they're gonna like really value these videos one day. They're gonna be teenagers and be looking back at these videos, remembering when you shot these. When their mom had a TV show, essentially filming, home tours in their local market.
And they love it, especially when we're in the like, just for example, we were just in downtown Ocala here in Florida, and we were filming because we were going to start doing lifestyle videos as well, in the sense of like what these areas have to offer. Not only do they have beautiful homes, but this is what you can experience here as well. So when we were doing that, there was a couple that stopped us, and he goes, "Wait, I know who you are. You are on YouTube." And then he was pointing at my children, and he was like, "I know you too, and you too." And they felt like little celebrities, and I love that for them.
Yeah, that's amazing. How far out of a radius do you cover for these home tours in your area? Do you cover like one city, or do you kind of go pretty wide?
Honestly, I cover all of Central Florida and surrounding areas, so I'm not scared to travel. So a lot of my bread and butter, my business is in Ocala, Florida, which is about an hour and a half away from where I physically live. But it's an upcoming area. They have really, really good, inexpensive new construction homes in areas where there's no HOA, no CDD. So that's like, that grabs their attention because a lot of people don't like the HOA fees and things like that. So yes, I cover from Ocala to Tampa and everywhere in between.
Nice. And do you do primarily new construction, or do you also focus on resale homes?
So we do new construction, we do resale homes, investment opportunities. So it's a mix.
Okay, very cool. And what have you found are the best call to actions to use in your home tours?
I want to say, so the best, what has worked for me. So again, it's all trial and error, right? So when I first started my videos, like my video was shaking and I looked super nervous, right? But you get more comfortable. And after time, like sometimes you look at other realtors on YouTube and it's like, okay, what are they doing, right? What's working for them and things like that. So at one point I was putting a whole bunch of different links on my YouTube, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I don't know. And then I went to a mastermind, and they were like, why are you trying to get them to all the other platforms? You need to get them on the phone, right? And I was like, you make so much sense. And so I just do I have a Calendly link in my YouTube. And so in my video, I'm like, hey, if you want to work with us here at the Evolve Estates Group, the best way to reach out to me is in my calendar, in my YouTube. You see a link, and there's kind of like an empty B-roll shot of showing how to do it in my video. So I think it's basically letting them know in the video how you want them to contact you. I think that's the best call to action.
I love that. So that is actually the exact call to action that I use in all my videos as well. Same exact thing. Like, I don't want them calling me. I don't want them emailing me. Just schedule a one-on-one consultation, like skip it all. Like, and like, that's a huge value add that you're giving to them, as well as like getting this free 1 hour long session or whatever it may be. So yeah, I love that you're using Calendly. Like, that is exactly what you should be doing. Now, one thing that's kind of intimidating for a lot of people is the actual filming itself. And I saw you're in the video, so obviously you're using a videographer. What does that process look like for using a videographer? And how much do you pay a videographer for like a 30-minute long home tour like this?
So honestly, I would say when you're first beginning, I think that everyone should try editing their video. And the reason why is because you want to know the technical aspects, the vocabulary, right? And so being that when I first started, I was overlaying and doing empty B-rolls and all that. So when I hired an editor, I was able to communicate exactly what I wanted, and I was able to use vocabulary that they understand. But I do think that everyone should edit their videos. When I started, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just super overwhelming because editing takes a really, really long time. So my editor is amazing. I absolutely love him. He actually is in Colombia, and I pay about $1,000 a month.
Wow, so $1,000 a month. And how many home tours do you get for that?
8.
8 home tours. That's very affordable. So $200 for him to videotape it and then edit it as well. That's very affordable. I pay $100 just for editing alone. Wow. I still have to, and for like videos that I film here. So that's great. You found an amazing,
that was trial and error too, because I went through a few different editors as well. And it's just like, they weren't seeing my vision and how I like the video to, just how I like it to be. Right. And, so I have a great keeper, and I don't want to ever let him go.
I love that. Yeah. Having like, it's very important, like having these key hires in your business, like having an amazing assistant will change everything. And finding that amazing video editor and videographer will change everything as well. But you have to kind of sift through a lot of trial and error. So do you have a pretty amazing assistant as well?
I do. Oh my gosh. I love her. Her name is Katrina. She just started with us. And again, that was trial and tribulation as well, because, all right, I'm not, how do I say, I don't want to speak bad about like VAs and virtual assistants and things like that, right? Especially from out the country. But sometimes when you have that language barrier, it's really, really hard to communicate, especially like exactly what, we were looking for. So we did go that route, and it just didn't work out for us. So I found an assistant in my state too. And it's just been amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
I love that. Yeah. An assistant will change your life. Same thing with a video editor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on YouTube thumbnails for home tours like this? Are you creating these yourself? Is your assistant creating them? And what's kind of like your thoughts when creating a thumbnail like this?
My editor is creating them as well, and it's a collaborative effort. So at first again, I feel like everything is trial and tribulation. You want to try it out, see if is it working out? Should we change it? Did that video not do so well, right? Could it have been the thumbnail? So with the thumbnail, I think it's super important to showcase what you think the audience is going to love, right? Is going to grab their attention. So like something that's on an acre land with no HOA and the price is $340,000. Oh yeah. If somebody sees that, they're gonna be like, what? Or like if something was reduced $250,000, like I'm going to put that on my thumbnail because I feel that, okay, there is going to pique interest. So you want to create a thumbnail that is going to pique interest. And sometimes I'll have my picture in there, sometimes I won't. And I don't feel like it really makes a difference, but I just like to have my picture. It's a opportunity to think I'm a model or something.
Yeah. You're building a personal brand, in the end, like you're building your brand and people have to build a connection with you. So I can definitely understand that. And what about the titles? I've seen people do different types of titles. Some people are just like 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,500 square foot, 2-car garage. Just kind of list that out. I've seen, which I don't really like. I've seen some people just put the address, which I don't really like as well. What are your thoughts around how to actually title one of these videos?
Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. Number one, going back to the thumbnail just a little bit, I personally want to work on abundance, right? Like I want to have clients like look at my video because it's like it brings them joy in the sense of like I feel like there's a lot of thumbnails where it's like don't move here, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I just feel like it's a negative condensation for it, and that's just me, right? It just
Yeah.
doesn't work for me and my brand. But titles, I feel like the most simplest way is just do simple, like new construction under $300,000, no HOA, right? Something just super simple, and because you want to think what the consumer is going to search for, and I feel like it has to be a more simple title.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if somebody wants to try to replicate this in their own market and start their own HGTV channel about their, local city, what advice would you have for somebody to get started in that?
Honestly, start that. I feel like a lot of people are and I was like that too, like, oh my gosh, just kind of like overachievers and have to have everything perfect, right? And then it's just kind of like you get frozen. It's like you become in a free state, like it's too overwhelming, I don't know how to start, right? And so I think start with your phone. That's how we started. We started because my husband is my videographer. And we started with our phone. We started with the cheapest drone that we could possibly find. And you have to organize your video. Like, don't have it all over the place. So organization as far as the video is concerned is very, very important as well. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell me more about that. How do you structure it, or how do you organize one of your videos?
Yeah, so the way I structure my video is that first clip is going to be like, okay, so number one, again, I'm from New York, right? So the way I talk is like, I got you, don't worry about it, right? So every video is like, for example, it'd be like, have you been looking for a brand new construction home in an area where there's no HOA, no CDD for under $250,000? Well, then look no further because I got you.
I love it.
And
You're starting off with a hook. I love that.
Yes, you have to start off with a hook. Yep.
And then you go to your video bumper here.
So your YouTube intro, that's kind of like the YouTube intro. And then I tell them who I am for new people who come to my channel, right? And what we do. So who I am and what we do is that second intro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so beautiful.
You are, and these videos are great. Look at all this.
Sometimes, as a woman, it's like you go through all these things, but when you're actually looking at yourself at a screen, it's like, oh, huh? Good lighting, yeah. And then the third, so I have three intros. I have the hook, I have the intro about who I am, what I do for you, and then the third one is like where I am, where am I, what I'm about to show you. Okay. You definitely want a lot of drone footage too, because people want to see the area. And so, yeah, it's a lot, but it's doable. I'm telling you, we've gotten better and better and better, and there's still room to grow.
Yeah. And you're saying that you do resales as well. How do you find your listings? How do you kind of have that conversation with a listing agent to ask them if you can do a home tour of one of their homes?
Honestly, I like to tour what I think people like, right? Mm-hmm. So if there's a resale that has just rugs everywhere, it looks like the 1970s, right? I'm most likely not going to tour it. But if I see, so for example, I have one of my partner agents that I absolutely love, him and his wife, they're a team. They do a lot of flips. And so they have one in my area. And I was like, oh, I want to do that one. And not only was the house that they renovated it super beautiful, but the area where it's at, it allows short-term rental, low HOA, no CDD, right? So again, I'm checking off a lot of check marks on people's boxes, right? And so that's why that's what I try to do. So I just have that conversation like, hey, I would love to showcase your home on my YouTube. I have over 6,000 subscribers, and most of the time I don't have any pushback. If I do, then I just keep it moving and ask the next one. But a lot of the resales too, I'm the listing agent, so I do that as well.
And do you find you get more listings or more buyers from these listing videos?
Right now, buyers, yeah. But I'm trying to get more listings out of it as well. So that's why, and again, I feel like you're always having to coach the people that are watching your videos, right? So when I have my talk about how you can get in contact with me, I say not only do we help buyers, we help many sellers, whether they're upsizing, downsizing, relocating, right? Because a lot of people are just probably, oh, she only works with buyers. So you literally, I feel like you have to communicate that.
Yeah. That's the challenge of almost everybody I talk to on YouTube, is that it is mostly buyers. Unless you get those move up buyers or move down buyers, it's just that's just the type of content that they seem to be doing more research than sellers. Sellers are usually like, who do we know? rather than buyers actually researching that information.
But I feel like also sellers now are more savvy, and especially when it comes to social media, because I just have I got an expired, but I didn't call them. So in this community, I called this expired lead, and I was able to sell her home. I got the listing, I sold her home, put it on my YouTube, did very, very well, sold it fast. Then I got a message in my Instagram that, you know, they saw that I sold that house, and they wanted me to sell their house. So now I have their listing as well.
Yeah, I love it. And so obviously you've built up like a really nice personal brand for yourself of being very family focused and looking fabulous and doing these home tours, have your own HGTV show. If somebody wanted to kind of focus on their own personal brand, what advice do you have for building a personal brand? And like, how important do you think it is for agents to have a own personal brand today?
I definitely think that it's very, very important for an agent to have their own personal brand, because at the end of the day, consumers are not worried about what brokerage you work with, right? They're more interested in you and what
Mhm.
you have to offer. So for example, and again, I didn't start real estate and have my own brand and knew what I wanted or anything like that. I just evolved into it, and I hired one of my partner agents, because she's really like very visual creative, and we were talking about branding, and she does like branding and things like that. And I told her that I absolutely love butterflies. I love butterflies because I love the evolution of it. I love that a freaking small caterpillar could turn into a beautiful butterfly, right? And so that's how my brand became Evolve in Real Estate with Alexis Diaz. And I love butterflies. I always have some type of butterfly on. And so that's why, and so people know me. Some people are like, listen, I don't even like butterflies, but when I see a butterfly, I think about you, because everything has to do with that evolution in my brand. So I definitely think it's super important to have your own brand
Mhm.
identity, and it has to come within, like, make sure it's authentically you, because if it's not, people can they can notice fakeness a mile away, right? So just go with deep within. Like, some people are from like in the military, right? Or I know a firefighter, a realtor, and then he like that's who he connects with, because he's a firefighter too, and his brand has to do with that and working with firefighters and things like that. So it's very important.
I love it. And one of my next question is one that I've heard from Sharon Shavatsa, and I love this question. If you could only work 1 hour a day, what would you do? What would that 1 hour a day be?
If I could work 1 hour a day.
Yeah, I guess like outside of actually buying and selling homes, like 1 hour a day to generate business. I guess what would it be?
You know what? That's a great question. And before I would tell you that I don't know, but I have a newfound love of exploring new businesses, and in the sense of, like, when I said earlier in the video that we are starting to do lifestyle videos. So I think I would love to like spend that hour going and talking to different business owners and different small businesses, because if you've never been an entrepreneur, then you don't know the hustle that we as entrepreneurs, small business owners have, right? And so for example, I went to a cafe, a Cuban cafe in Ocala. You would think we were in Miami, and they've been there for 15 years, and I'm like, wow. And they are so blessed enough to only be open Monday through Friday. They take their
Yeah,
weekends off, right? And so I think that's what I would love to do, is just have conversations with small business owners.
I love it. Well, Alexis, if anybody wanted to follow you or reach out to you, what's the best way to find you?
So yeah, YouTube, Evolve in Real Estate with Alexis Diaz, and so is my Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I think Evolve in Real Estate with Alexis Diaz.
I love it. Thanks so much for your time today, Alexis.